how to save your money and where to save your money or how to make money. Having money is not necessary for building wealth. Wealth is a long-lasting plan, going on for generations. Let Wanda tell you how. Tune in to Wanda's Wealth Moments every Wednesday at 9:30 and learn how to.
Good morning, my friends, and welcome to another segment of Wanda's Wealth Moments, where every week you get to listen, learn, and earn some facts, flows, and tidbits about wealth. And yes, as you know, every single week it's the weather too. So, did I not declare it? Spring is literally around the corner. Yes, it is. And what are we at right now today? Well, it says -5, although it does say it feels like -13, but that's okay. We're going we're going up to a high of about 4 degrees, so I'll take that. See, spring is literally just around the corner. Okay, good old Mother Nature, she has to just throw in her last little shots here and there, just so to remind us. Okay, remind us that we do experience a cold, and she controls that. And remember, I said she, not he. She. Just had to put it out there. Oh, goodness gracious, gracious. So, with spring around the corner, and people are gearing up and they're getting ready to start doing a lot of things out there. Home buying is also a big topic out there. Okay. Now, obviously, with the way the markets are right now and the economy, it's kind of flat at this point. It's neither up or down. It's just kind of flat. And there's talks about what's going to happen with interest rates on homes. How's it going to be affected down the road? What about the summer? What does it look like? And let's be honest, for most folks in this day and age today, it's hard. It's difficult to purchase a home. Why? Well, you could be making a good or decent income, but it's very difficult to come up with that down payment because it's so much you got to come up with. So what do you do? And I get asked the question several times, what are some of your thoughts or ideas of generating or coming up with the down payment for the home? What can we do? Can we strategize? Is it possible? Is there any hope at all? Is there any? And so I figured, let's talk about that today. Let's discuss some of the options when it comes on to purchasing a home, or getting that down payment. What can be done? Because there are ways. Now, let me preface for now, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not a mortgage agent. The information I'm sharing with you today, this is again some research that I've done, and I've just kind of pulled together some points from an article. So I'm going to go through this article, but this stuff that I'm seeing anyways on a regular basis. And if you've seen it, then it's out there. Okay. If you haven't, well, this is just some information, just give you some insight. Okay. As to some of the ideas or things that you can do. All right. So let's have a quick look, and I'm going to share my screen with you all. Let's see if I can flip over there. Okay, and I actually call this the pros and cons of co-owning a home, because this seems to be the way now that I'm seeing. It's nothing new. It's been around for a while, but it's becoming more popular because it's very difficult for folks to come up with their own down payment. If you have to come up with 10% or 20% on $1 million home, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. All right. If you're looking to purchase a home this year or next year, you got to come up with that much, 10% down. That's a lot on $1 million home. Okay. It is. You got to think about that. So I wanted to touch on this because this has been a topic that's out there, and it's something that you should be aware of. Okay. I'm neither here nor there on it. Okay. I'm not expressing my opinions on it. Okay. But it's just so you understand this is another avenue, and you want to, if you're considering it, let's look over some of these key points. Okay. So pros and cons of owning a home. So let's look at, this thing would flip, come on. Let's look at the pros. Okay. So let's look at some of the pros. Well, with the pros, you have the opportunity to own. Okay. So co-owning a home with other owners gives you access to a home that might be outside of your budget. way outside of your budget. So it gives you that flexibility if you have other co-owners with you. And of course, sharing the costs, you can enjoy all the amenities without breaking the bank. Beautiful, right? Usage of time, because you own the home, you have the right to enjoy your property to the fullest extent based on the type of co-ownership that you have. So that's important. Co-ownership doesn't necessarily mean all parties have to live in the house. Okay, they don't have to. You could be the one living in the house. The other one's just like a silent partner. They co-own, but they don't want to live in the home. Okay, so usage of time is important. Deed ownership and equity. So shared co-ownership, that gives you a deed to a fraction of the home. You don't own the whole, say that 10 times. You don't own the whole home. You own a fraction of it. Okay, so your value of your home is your piece. Very important to understand. Okay. And of course, shared maintenance costs and responsibilities. With co-ownership, you don't have to be the one always cutting the lawn. Okay, you don't have to be the one always painting and doing the fixing up, or taking on those costs. All right, it's shared because obviously there's interest in the home with all owners of it. Okay, to maintain the home and keep it up. All right, so that way you increase the value of the home. Very good. So some simple points with the pros of co-ownership. Now let's look at the cons of it. Okay, because I mean, think about it. We listen. We all have that family member or that friend that I don't think you'd ever want to share a home with, right? Okay, if they came to you and said, "Hey, AT, let's purchase a home together," and Patty's like, no. Okay, we're not going there. Love ya, but we ain't doing that. Okay, and why? Because of there are the cons to it. She knows the cons to it. So let's look at the cons. Personal challenges. All right, that's a biggie. With co-ownership, you're subject to changing dynamics. One day you're the best of friends, and next thing you see something, you're like, no, we don't do that. That's not up my alley. We're not doing that. So your relationship can change. Conflicts can arise. Okay, so that's really important to understand with co-ownership. These things can happen between owners. Now, this is a biggie. There's fewer financing options. Okay, now, let me again. This is an article that I took. It's a U.S. article, but a lot of it would apply for Canada as well too. Okay, so not many banks necessarily will offer mortgages for co-ownership. Okay, so you do have to do your due diligence and shop around, because again, with banks, they want that level of security with and stability with the income coming in, and they may not be in favor of 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 owners on a property, because it's all owners that have to be on title, okay, or all parties that need to be on title. So when you start to spread it like that, it becomes a little risky. Okay, excuse me. Less freedom. So any decisions with respect to maintenance or repairs or decor, if you're all living in the same house, that becomes a challenge. All right. You may like pink, but the other one likes blue. I mean, who knows, right? In the home, your styles are different as well, too. And of course, these are decisions that should be made together. And if you're one that doesn't care really, what your house looks like, and everybody else can do what they want, then hey, that works in your favor. But most people want to have a say. So there's less freedom when it comes on to the decor, maintenance, basically with the ownership of the home, especially when you're selling. Okay, that's really, really important. You don't want to necessarily have too many personal touches when you're trying to sell a house, but some people, they're so attached to their personal touches, they don't want to change it. So that becomes a problem right there. Okay, and of course, this is a biggie: payment risk. All right, co-ownership financial responsibilities fall on all owners, even if one does not pay. That is huge, okay? Because when there's a mortgage in place and it's split, let's say it's split 4 ways, and not one person can't make up their mortgage payment for whatever reason, the mortgage companies are going to say, oh, well, you know what? It's okay, Joe. I know you don't have your payment this month. The other 3 will take care of it. You're good. All right. As long as we get the other 3 owners, they're not saying that. They want all their money and they want it now. All right. So this is why you got to be so mindful with respect to co-ownership. You need to have that joint account made up. You need to have that short-term account where you can build up at least 3 months worth of income, total income between all parties in that account. So in the event of, God forbid, something happens where one party can't pay, it's okay. You've got that short-term account that could dip into and make up the difference for that individual that's not able to pay their portion for that month. Okay. Very, very, very important. So these pros and cons you need to consider. And these are just a few points, okay, from that article I'm putting here today. You need to do your due diligence and look into it. So at the end of the day, who are the co-owners? Who can they be? All right. Who are these co-owners made up of? Well, it could be family members. All right. And, some cultures, you see that's normal. You do see that's normal. Many of the family come together and they purchase a home and they all live in that home. And so it allows for the family members, which is great, to reduce costs on the expenses in their home that they have to shell out so they could save and then purchase another home. Okay. I think that's fantastic if family members can do that, if they can get along enough to do that. All right. Friends, you can do that with friends if you have some close friends and maybe you want to get into business together or start flipping homes or get investment properties, and you've got that type of relationship where you can trust on each other with managing these homes. Why not? Okay. Even strangers, not a fondness, not a friend of strangers necessarily, but sometimes it could work out. Okay. That's where that partnership comes in. All right. And you got to be very mindful of that. So having these co-owners, it also determines the type of mortgage you're going to get as well, too. Okay. So you can see here, it says, for example, friends, partners, and strangers might consider a TIC, tenancy in common, or joint ownership. Okay. Where married couples, that would be more tenancy by entirety. So if one person passes with a married couple, it's basically the ownership still stays with the other person. Okay. Regardless of the co-owner, buying a home with other people is a major undertaking. All right. Now you need to seriously consider if somebody comes to you and says, let's get together and purchase a home and let's get into flipping properties and making money and this and that, and it's going to be exciting, a lot of money. Listen, okay, you got to do your due diligence and really take the time to understand the pros and cons of getting into that type of transaction with an individual or individuals. Okay, because it can be very, very challenging. Okay, it does present a lot of factors outside of your control. So you really need to understand how this will play onto you for the future. Okay, with your future investment that you're thinking about. Okay, because there's nothing wrong with it, but you really need to take your time in considering all these factors. All right. And you can see here it says job changes, financial disruptions, health issues, and other major life crises or styles and changes could impact a person's commitment in that home. Have to think about that. Okay. So some key takeaways to understand here. Co-ownership, it empowers people to own property. Okay, build equity while lowering their financial and logistical burdens of buying and owning a whole home. Okay, so it provides that for you. Okay, so that it's less worry in a sense over time. Okay, joint ownership and TIC are options for people who are not married to each other. Owners have unique rights to the property depending on the co-ownership type, and survivorship rights are critical for property shares to remain with the existing tenants or owners of the property. Okay. Financing a co-owned home is similar to financing a whole home, but it does include additional considerations and risks. Okay, because it's not everything is on you. It's you, your family member, your friend, whoever else is involved with the whole process with this home ownership. You have to consider all of these things. Remember, institution or mortgage company, what they're looking at the end of the day is your stability, so your security, the income. Who are all the parties to this? They're looking at credit rating. The one with the strongest credit score is the one likely that will make the decision on the interest rate that's going to be applied on this mortgage. Okay. I've had some clients where four or five family members got together and they're talking to me about, well, what can we do here? What are some of the options? What if this person has a home here, but they've got their mortgage here. We're thinking about this other mortgage company here. So there's a lot involved. All right. Because, with parties coming together, if somebody has an existing home, they want to purchase a second home. Maybe they've got a great relationship with the institution that they're dealing with. Maybe they can pull equity from their home to put in as part of their contribution to the second home. Maybe they can get a better mortgage to their institution. Maybe one of the other owners has a better relationship with this. So things you got to consider. So it's a lot of back and forth, and you got to really take the time and be patient. Oh my gosh, patience is critical, especially when you're talking about co-ownership. All right. I mean, because at the end of the day, especially if you live together, whoo, yeah, you can't say, I'm just leaving. I'm gone. All right. Yeah, take your part with you. And that's a whole nother process right there. So with that, folks, I hope that gave you a little bit of insight as something to consider, because again, these are difficult times for folks, and many people want to purchase a home, but they can't see how it's possible with the way things are going financially this day and age, and the economy the way it's going. They've almost given up hope. And think about it, the next generation of our kids, what's the hope for them? Okay, with the way things are going. All right, so there are options to consider, and it's a great way of building generational wealth and the legacy for your family as well too. All right, if you can really get along with each other and really stay focused on the end goal, it can work. It really can work. So that's my little tidbit for you today. I hope that helped. Do your due diligence, do some research if you're considering it, okay, before you jump in, and pray that everything goes smoothly for you and the rest of the folks that are going to be tying in with you with your home ownership. So have yourself a wonderful, cool, no, I'm not going to say cool. No, we're hitting 4. Have a nice warm Wednesday today. Okay, a great warm Wednesday, a wonderful rest of the week. And until next time, God bless you all.
Well, let me read this to you. Tenants in common or co-ownership is not a good idea. At present, I'm experiencing hell with my siblings based on that decision. So I just thought I will repeat this of one of our listeners who's saying, oh my goodness, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You do that, there's a possibility that you are going to suffer the consequences that you do not want to suffer. So, yeah. So, Faye, you and I, put your headpiece on. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Sorry, I have co-owned the house with my sister, and it worked out. I
See?
mean,
I guess it
God
depends.
transitioned
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
but we had a good relationship for the whole time.
Yeah. It
She
depends. It
was
depends on
here.
who you
Yeah,
call. So, Faye, let's
it all
let's
depends.
let's get a house in Canada.
Okay.
All right. See, good
Wow,
friendship.
You didn't
yeah.
think I was going to say you had to do it.
Love it.
Yeah, let's own
Look
a
at
few
you.
houses
You
here.
didn't think I was going to say that like that, huh?
That's all right. I mean, some people you just
That's
don't
too
want to
funny.
co-own with because they leave you
Yeah.
hanging, and all kinds of crazy stuff takes place. So you
So true.
don't
So
want to
true.
go there. And
That's
just to
what you're doing.
update my sister here on the weather, she says a warm Wednesday.
Yes,
Uh,
my friend. On
I,
my side, anyways. Okay, let's just say my side.
I don't know. I don't know where.
Better be specific.
Yeah, so for some reason, my thing isn't updating here. Maybe I have to redo it again and check and find out what's actually going on. Cause, yeah, it's not updating properly, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But
Yeah, don't try to
did say you say
nip her.
no. It did say a wind chill though. She's not talking about the wind chill.
You
You
know
know,
what? Let me just tell you, I just pulled mine up,
Mm-hmm.
and my location says, and I'm going Celsius,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
as we got two here, so I'm gonna go
All
with your
right.
reading. It says -1 for my area.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
look
It
at
says
that. See?
-4 for Mississauga.
Right.
And are you? Where are you?
I'm in
I'm in
Are
Miss.
you in Toronto?
Oshawa.
She's
I'm
You're
in
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 Oshawa.
Oshawa.
Oshawa. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. See, I don't have Oshawa up, but I could get Oshawa.
Oh, you see
Yeah.
now it changed. It went to three. See, it was four. Now it went to drop to three. See
Yeah.
what you said? See what you did, Claremont?
I just wanted people to know that we're still in the cold era, and until I see some warmer air, double digits, then I'm
You
gonna say we're
know
getting
what?
warmer.
You're just
Nah,
jealous.
I
That's
just
all that
prepare my
is.
mind mentally and condition
I know.
myself
I hear you.
that wind chill could be a doozer to you
Yeah,
sometimes.
it'll get under your skin and sit
Yeah,
there.
can I
That's
tell you
it.
that? But one, we
Yeah.
want to thank you once again for being with us this morning and sharing these wealth tips. And Faye and I are going to be buying a house. We can buy a big house in Canada,
Nice.
and then we're gonna put a whole bunch of people in there and rent it out to them.
No, I like that idea.
Yeah. Make extra money. Make extra money. There you go. Thank you once again.
Goodness.
Wonders Wealth Moments
Always a
right here on
pleasure.
the Praise Life Morning Show. And if you want to go back and find out where you can find this information again, go on to Streaming Praise Radio and look for today's episode with Praise Life Morning Show, and you will see Wonders.